16 laps around the Cadwell Park circuit then. Away they go, Mackenzie must be thinking about that. That was a big one, and not the first one he's had this weekend, because he crashed yesterday in practice at Mansfield and was out cold for 10 minutes. Away they go then. Troy Bayliss in second place, but it's Walker number 2, making the most of the chance here. The Kawasaki kid out in front, Bayliss going with him, the black helmeted yellow Ducati rider. Matt Llewellyn, Bayliss's teammate, in third. Away they go on the very, very fast back part of the circuit into the right hand of Walker, Bayliss, Llewellyn, these getting away. Roger, that was a big crash for Mackenzie.
It was probably the worst crash of Neil Mackenzie's career. I've known Neil for some 15 years and probably followed him throughout those 15 years, and that probably is his worst crash. And he crashed at Cadwell Park in 1986 and broke his leg. Last year in the Motorcycle News British Superbike Championship, he crashed and broke his wrist. So Cadwell, you could say, isn't too kind to Neil Mackenzie.
Chris Walker into the bottom of the mountain section, left, right, second gear here on the Kawasaki, picking the front up as he goes over the top. Bayliss, the Australian, and I've said before and I'll say again, seeing these circuits for the first time, he is truly a remarkable rider, the Australian, the number 32 in second place. He too has a chance to close up the points here. Just look how narrow Cadwell Park is as they come down from the old hairpin to Barn. The right-hander of Barn, away down the start-finish straight again in close company. This series getting better and better. Walker leads, Bayliss in second, Matt Llewellyn still in third. Then it's Rutter, John Reynolds getting better by the week here, and Max Vincent in sixth place. The privateer Max Vincent, who incidentally is carrying one of our onboard cameras. A sterling ride from Max Vincent, and this indeed is Walker's big chance.
Well, Troy Bayliss is now coming back at Chris Walker as they go down Park Straight. This is into Park Corner, second gear, 90 mile an hour right-hand bend. And it looks like Walker made a mistake there, and Matt Llewellyn got through as well. So that's Bayliss from Llewellyn, and Walker relegated back to third spot. Down now through to the Gooseneck. This is quite a tricky part of Cadwell Park circuit. Cadwell's very narrow, as you quite rightly said, Barry. The riders have complained about safety here. On board now with Max Vincent. This is our top privateer in the race. This is down to Mansfield Corner. Very steep downhill bit, and Sean Emmett comes up the inside of Max Vincent there, so Max Vincent relegated down another place. This is the very fast kink, left-hand kink before the bottom of the mountain. The track goes now left and then right before the very steep uphill section. The front wheel lift's coming up over there, and now into the tricky wooded area through to the hairpin, and Bayliss still leads.
It is tight round here, and I think it's underlined by the fact that the bikes are getting quicker and quicker and quicker, so much so that the top 9 in qualifying were inside the existing lap record set in 1992 by John Reynolds. The pole position time was 2 seconds inside Reynolds' lap record. So the bikes are fast, almost outgrowing some of these smaller circuits, and the riders have to be so much more in control of the situation. Bayliss is coasting. Bayliss, Troy Bayliss is out of it. Yet another retirement for the Australian. Mechanical problem, very wisely getting on the grass out of the heat of the action. Doesn't want to be collected by people with their head down and their racing brain in gear. Coasting, in fact dumping the Ducati against the tyre wall through the gooseneck. Neil Mackenzie very comfortably down there riding for a finish, because he is a true professional and he knows that despite that injury he has to get out there and pick up points. Now look at his left foot. It's his left big toe and around the ball of the foot area which has been injured and stitched up, and he's nursing it. He's favouring it. Oh, Michael Rutter! Michael Rutter, exactly the same place that Chris Walker threw it away. A handstand on the handlebars for the Honda rider, but he walks away safely. Roger, talk us through it.
Well, this is a classic high side and a characteristic of the Cadwell Park circuit. Look at the barrier on the left-hand side. The bike goes straight into it. There's nowhere for the bike to go. There's nowhere for Michael Rutter to go. It litters the straw bales on the circuit, and they're going to do well to clear those up before the riders come round.
Breathtaking, unbelievable stuff. Chris Walker on the inside of Matt Llewellyn. Is he going to outbrake him? Yes, he does. Hugging the white line. Llewellyn not able to get the power on, drive up the inside. Race leader Chris Walker. Matt Llewellyn in second. In third place now, John Reynolds. But this is Matt Llewellyn on board with the Ducati boy now. Joined the team halfway through the season, doing everything he can to secure the place for 1999. And I guess if I were the team boss, I would have to look favourably upon Llewellyn's performance.
Well, this is into the bottom of the mountain. You can see Matt Llewellyn, John Reynolds closing now, and then Ian McPherson closing on John Reynolds. So this tightening up now to an 8-wheeler at the front, 4 bikes, 8 wheels, and it's Chris Walker at the front of those with Matt Llewellyn second. John Reynolds, a good ride from John Reynolds. Not particularly liking it here at Cadwell Park, not his favourite track. Of course, him recovering from an injury, a foot injury earlier in the year, so not really back to what we'd have to say is 100% form. And McPherson there on the back of those front 3, real return to form for him. He's not been doing particularly well as the years progressed.
Kawasaki lead, Ducati second, Ducati third, Kawasaki fourth. So team riding here by the Kawasaki pair. And as you said, Roger, a good ride by Ian McPherson. And we all know he needs a good ride. Let's hope he brings it all the way home to the flag. Matt Llewellyn coming under some pressure now from John Reynolds, number 4, who's returned to form in a big way. Up the inside goes Reynolds. He's a pass master on the brakes. He takes Llewellyn. There he goes. The view from Matt Llewellyn. Now in a bronze medal position. In third. Can he close? Can he, even more to the point, defend his rear end from number 6, Ian McPherson, who is forcing hard behind this mobile cameraman? There's the second place man, John Reynolds. Away now. Going away. Chris Walker. Oh, not so much going away because Reynolds going with him. Llewellyn in third place is the one who's being dropped away. Flicking through towards the left-hander at the foot of the mountain section. Again they go. Reynolds maybe senses there's a win on the cards here.
He possibly does, but look at the bikes as they come up the mountain. The front wheels lift. The technique is really not to try to get the bike to do that. That just happens just because the mountain is so steep. But McPherson looking threatening now. I think Matt Llewellyn's third place is definitely in jeopardy. McPherson, good rides here last year at Cadwell Park, seems to suit the circuit here. Technique of the riders changes from circuit to circuit. Here the track is so narrow, you've literally got to use every inch of the width of the track. McPherson's style is to sit upright into the bike. He doesn't particularly hang off it, and he can hang over the curbs here and consequently try to use more of the road.
2/3 race distance. McPherson smelling a rostrum here, and he certainly needs one. He hasn't had much of a 1998 season. He shot to form in 1997 as the surprise new recruit in the Kawasaki squad. He's going for third. Will he take third? Ian McPherson takes third from Matt Llewellyn, who is now progressing backwards down the field into fourth. Matt will be sick about that. He doesn't want to throw away a rostrum, but he's under pressure and he's lost out to a very determined Kawasaki teamster. Number 6, Ian McPherson, now in third. Ahead of him, John Reynolds. Can they make it a Kawasaki 1-2? I'm quite sure Colin Wright, the team boss, is urging them on. I'm quite sure the pit board is saying something to the effect, 1-2 will do nicely, thank you very much. There's Max Vincent, leading privateer, getting better and better all the time on race stringers Kawasaki. He's had some setup problems here at Cadwell, but it looks as though he's got that sorted. Progressively moving up the privateer table. This the battle then, coming round towards a checkered flag. Walker's going to get the win. Sensational after that great big crash. The leg out, the fist in the air. 25 points in the bag. 20 go to number 4, John Reynolds. And Ian McPherson, his famine is over. He got third. Matt Llewellyn settled for fourth. A brilliant fifth for Neil Mackenzie.